to have you. So I wanted to.
We can go in here and just sit.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay, he's the one that I promised to as soon as I'm done with him, then I come back.
Where are we going?
Hey, thanks.
Come on in. Well, you know what though, Robin, you really.
I so owe you. So owe you.
This is so great.
Security guard to walk to the apartment. Oh, I don't know where I'm going. What is that? The Country Inn Suites on Willard and yeah. Okay. Get Carolyn in here.
What do you need me to do?
Please.
It's going.
Thank you.
Okay.
Polly, I totally forgot. Okay. Wait. But we will figure that out. Okay, I promise. I'm so freaking sorry.
Not at all. Yeah, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
It was a wonderful.
Thank you. I'm totally out of my mind.
First of all, I wanted to ask you, what's next? What do you plan on organizing next?
The first thing is I want to figure out what we're doing in reference to the ballot initiative as quickly as possible, and that's not to protect me, obviously, because I'm one of the 18,000 couples that have my marriage secure. But I think that we have to think about, if any point that another person doesn't have the same rights as mine, then I got to figure out how to protect those other person's rights. So my next step is to figure out when are we going to secure the rights of the ones that lost the privilege that I have today. And connected to that, continuing on the Obama message of, I'm ready for him to speak and to utter the word gay. And if that means marching on Washington in October 10th and 11th of 2009, then so be it. Because in my own personal opinion, he used a lot of our resources to get into office. And there are two things that it cost us. It cost us the No on 8 campaign because there were a lot of resources that went towards the Obama campaign because we were working so hard to get him in. And that's money and that's people and time. And the second thing is we also lost hope. I am totally upset that a man that totally talked about change and being all about diversity and yes we can. Right now I feel it's yes we can as long as you're not LGBT.
It's that
And
strong.
that's how strong I feel about it. And so there's two things. Number one is getting as quickly back on a ballot as long as the community says when that is. And number two, it's getting to Washington, D.C. and getting Obama to work with us to create a social justice bill that's going to create a full platform of equality for LGBT people.
I'm sure you've told the story many times, but how this event came about, let me see if I have it right, it was because it was election night, and that's when you were talking about having some kind of event tied to the court decision.
Right. And it was partly I had come out as an activist in the community for a while, and my son was at a local elementary school. I was the PTO president, and the priest chose to remove me from the PTA because he felt that my public stance on the 8 campaign was detrimental to the school, and even though they were talking about love and appreciation of the human being and blah blah blah. So on that night, right after when that happened, it was like I got to stand up. I'm like a mother protecting her cub. Really, that's all I look at it is. I have a responsibility to say, if you're going to start messing with our family, it would have been one thing had we won, and he did that because he's mad, he wants to take action, but they won Proposition 8, and he still chose to take action. So all that taught me was they won't stop at just winning at the ballot box. What that means is, when are they going to say they don't want gay people around their children? And I'm going to be moved to the foothills in some entrenchment camp. I'm being serious. And there's fights to not have LGBT books in the high schools. I mean, there's so many elements of our community being treated less than, and that's not right. That's not the America that Obama talked about. It was black, white, gay, straight, and I don't see that right now. And my entire focus is to get California on track to move to Washington.
Would you like to see, or will you be working on pulling this concept, the meet concept? In other words,
Yes.
which says to me,
Yes.
areas that are outside of the big urban centers.
Absolutely, right.
Would you like to move that to other states?
Right, oh, absolutely. I'd love to have a meeting. In fact, today, something that I didn't announce from the stage just because I had just wrote my speech, was in Jackson, Mississippi, in a sign of solidarity to us. They had a meet in the middle in Jackson, Mississippi at 3 o'clock at the moment that a rally started. And it's the center of the state. It's part of a very progressive history that's fighting for social change and racial injustice. And if we could do that in every state, meet in those rural areas and reach into communities that are struggling to understand us, it'd be less the character on television that Eric McCormick plays, and more the personal story of the family member or the wife or the husband or just the gay youth that is just trying to survive in a community that is oppressing them. That's the story that we have to tell, door to door, every day.
One last question, and that is, as you were organizing this event, what was the reaction you got from the community here?
Most people would say, here in this community, in this community.
Fresno,
In this community, the major thing was why were a bunch of liberals coming into our town and having this rally. And the reality is it wasn't a bunch of liberals; it's their neighbor that's putting on this rally. So it may look like that from the stage. It may look like that from the people that came to stand with us. But it was 70 Central Valley people from gay to straight meeting relentlessly to put this together. And the reaction that this local community, governmental-wise, the police department to the mayor, everybody has been over backwards to give us fair treatment. Would I have loved to see the mayor on stage welcoming people to the city instead of me having to be declared as the gay mayor of Fresno?
Yes.
Absolutely. But I understand that she lives in a political climate where to speak publicly costs political collateral. And although she can work with me and make sure that our people are going to be safe and we're going to be welcomed and we're going to be able to have the same rights as the next group that's going to be here tomorrow night. There's called a Still Standing in the Middle. The Religious Right is doing it. It's a statewide event, much like this one. The looking at it is in that platform, I'm going to do for you what I'm going to do for this other person. But the reality is that's symbolic for what is actually not practiced in reference to same-sex marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. So I can have a rally. I can get all the same privileges as the group that's going to get here on Sunday night. But when it comes to civil rights and the civil same element of respect, it's not there. And I don't understand how a person can justify speaking of faith and argue that one faith can trump another faith, when in reality our Constitution is built on freedom of religion.
Yeah.
And that's what this entire community has to hear more of. I'm not denying your faith. I'm not denying your platform against who I am. But what I'm asking you to look at is it fair to deny one person a right that another person claims as a luxury? It's not fair.
Yeah. An amazing story. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you very much. I'm
Thank
sorry
you
that
very
it
much.
took me forever
Yeah.
to stop with you. I really am
Not at all.
sorry. Like I
She's
said, I don't
wonderful.
have handlers. I'm not and I don't ever want to, and that's why I stop
what
for every
makes it
single
so
thing.
great, yeah.
And I didn't mean to be disrespectful to any of you
Not at
the
all.
whole day, and especially this person. They streamed it live all day long.
It's
but
been straight. Oh, yeah, I
all
didn't
day
realize
long
that.
it's been
Yeah.
live on
Where?
television.
We're the top stream.
Good.
That's cool. That's cool. So thank you very much.
That's great.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So,
Thank
yeah,
you very much.
A pleasure
Thank
to meet
Thank
you, and
Pleasure to
hopefully
meet
we
you.
can talk again.
Yes, I would love to. Thank you. Thank you.
So no,
Yeah.
thank you. And the thing that I've noticed just by being here is that I think I need to come up here more.
I would